Eurovision fam. I am so excited because I am joined by yet again another Portuguese artist, another artist vying to represent Portugal at Eurovision 2023. It's Neon Soho. Thank you all so much for joining me today.
Hello.
Well, I gotta start off and say so. I've talked to Mimi Cat and I've spoken with Esipovo as
As
well,
well.
and yeah, and Kim,
Yeah.
who wrote the song sort of behind that entry. So I have to figure out what was your journey to kind of throwing your hat in the ring for the festival this year.
It kind of came as a surprise for us because we never thought in being part of this. We thought our kind of music was not for Festival da Canção, and but we were invited, and that was amazing for us. It was really special, and we were not expecting, but we embraced it very dearly. And we had to make a decision, um, whether we were going to adjust ourselves to the festival. I don't know. I thought it was me. I thought there were a kind of sound for festival. I don't know if you agree or not, but we decided to keep our identity. So I think we decided to show and to present a sound that it's our own sound. So we're going with it till the end. So I don't know.
Well, I don't
I
think
hope.
you're alone in that. I think that's one of the things that, for me, makes the festival so much fun to hop into. Because honestly, it's a it's a compilation of music that personally I just listen to. I think even if it wasn't competing at Eurovision, if it showed up in a playlist for me, it's just the stuff that I really like, and maybe lending to me being slightly biased when it comes to what Portugal decides to send to Eurovision. So was this a song that you had written before, or once you got the invitation, you were like, okay, let's make maybe something new?
We had sort of a draft, a very raw draft, and then we began building the song through improvisation and the lyrics. We made a brainstorm, and till it was ready to present. Yeah.
So now I have to ask. So I loved your song upon first listen. So I do reaction videos. I react to little snippets. It gives me like, okay, this is the taste of what I like, and then I'll hop into the song afterwards. So when I first even just heard the snippet of your track, I really gravitated towards it, and I loved the song. And I kind of pulled out things that I was like, oh, this reminds me of this artist. Oh, this sounds a little bit of this. But instead of me just making assumptions, what artists do you think have influenced your sound that maybe you look at, or even an artist that maybe you go, okay, if I could like steal their career and like have my career sort of mirror that, who would you say?
Well, in our days, I immediately think about Billie Eilish. Like, I mean, what she's doing, or her brother's doing, sound wise. It's very fresh. And when I think about what our compositions and our future path, it's something with which we relate a lot. Our past album, or like older songs, had were very 80s,
And 90s as
and
well.
90s, yes. And I think we naturally, because we've been working together, the three of us. I think we right now we're finding ourselves better and understanding like which way we want to go. So we're letting go the 80s a little bit, not all of it. I mean, it's part of my DNA when I compose, when I do my part in our music. But yeah, I think we're going fresher way, like more
But we are very different,
modern.
the
Yeah.
three of us. So it was in our early sound. It was we are sort of going the same way now with this song. It happened that, and that's funny. That's nice for us because we had to make decisions, and we had to agree on what
Very
we were
fast.
going to do. Yeah, but we are all very different. So I think we're very pleased because we find we are heading towards that identity. I suppose because
What are
all
you?
bands have an evolution, and we are still growing and trying to figure it out. So
Yeah. No,
What I
I
normally
think
say that this song was like a turning point for us
yeah,
in our with our identity musically.
okay.
Um, that was so nice to discover, to because we like Anna says, we really had to be fast in taking decisions and building the song. And we discovered it was actually very easy because we are in a bigger symphony. We are like more Sintonia?
yeah.
Uh,
Symphony?
Symphony, I think.
I don't know. Sorry.
We're using like the Portuguese words for
Yeah, sometimes.
No, I'm like, as an American in the space, I have to be used to it. But I love that you pulled on the idea of the '80s, because actually one of the artists, and even thinking of your vocal, that that harkened for me. I'm secretive about my age out here in the streets, but I am an '80s baby. So shh, don't tell anyone. But but what it sort of reminded me of was, I was like, ooh, this is giving me like a little bit of like Kate Bush, which I'm like a really big Kate Bush fan. It's been nice with Stranger Things to see more people finding out about her.
Yeah.
But I do wonder, like, as a vocalist, when you are thinking of singing, what kind of mindset do you put yourself in? Do you yeah, just I'm big on the vocal. People know me for this. I get picky with
I really
vocals.
love the 50s. It might surprise you, but I love the 50s, those Hollywood singers with that very old antique voice. And I'm very keen on that. So and a bit of classical as well.
Okay.
So maybe it has a little that approach in this song. But I also like to play and do crazy stuff with the voice, with the 80s, and yeah, like you said, Susie and the Banshees and
Yeah, yeah.
Bush and Cure. I love the music that comes from those from that time. But yeah, the 50s is always with me. So maybe in that
Okay.
beginning, like Rita Hayworth or Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, yeah, sort of that, like, like Shantus, like
Yeah,
sort of soft vocal. And I love the mention of Susie and the Banshees. I have a 2-year-old, 2.5-year-old daughter, and so one of our songs that we love to sing in the car is Spellbound. And she even has her own, choreography to it. She's two and a
totally.
half.
Two and a
But
half. She's very small, and she has already like a thing with the.
oh
With the
yes, oh yeah. She is a dancer. She loves to dance. She will go, mommy, like, dance. I go, dance. Can we dance?
Can we
So
dance?
so that's my cue to put the music on. And so, speaking, I guess, of childhood and whatnot, did you watch Eurovision at all growing up? As an American, I didn't have like a show that I could kind of turn to, like Eurovision. But yeah, did you grow up watching the show at all?
We did. It's kind of a blur for us because it happened almost every year, I
Mhm,
suppose. It did.
mhm.
And I do remember a few songs, yeah. But it was all, I remember it was a huge happening, a huge event. So I do remember a few songs.
I remember more the Eurovision, not like the Portuguese Song Contest here. I can't really remember. Well, I wasn't even living in Portugal at the time, so I was living in Brussels. So more the Eurovision like thing. Um, but I don't have such good memory to remember. Like, don't ask me.
I remember Celine Dion.
Yes, yeah,
I do
for
remember that.
Switzerland, yeah, competing for Switzerland.
And
Yeah,
yeah, I do remember that. And ABBA, they were apart, weren't they?
correct. That was how they launched their career to the world, launched them
So
into superstardom. So knowing that you're competing in this thing that could be putting you into Eurovision, have you thought that far, or are we keeping our focus, on the festival first?
we keep we keep it we
yeah,
yeah we go
we
like baby
do.
steps, it's already huge, being like at this festival in Portugal. We
We
can't go further
yeah,
than that, so yeah.
yeah, we can't go that far. it's we have no expectations really,
Yeah.
but we
But
are
with
thrilled for being a part and for being invited.
With that, so have you all figured out sort of what you plan to do on stage, like to bring the song to life? I know you can't tell us everything, but maybe is there an emotion you want people to feel after
Yeah.
watching it? And is there maybe a theme or an inspiration point you're kind of pulling for the eventual staging?
Well, it's hard to say. We cannot disclosure, but we are going to try um,
surprise a
to
bit.
yeah to surprise in terms of texturizing our song through what
It's hard because we're so afraid to
yeah,
disclosure. Just well, I think about like just
staging. We are still working on that staging stuff, but we want our staging
to be like strong, to grow up along the song, because the
yeah,
song is a grower, and so um, you know, yeah, we
but we cannot say anything. We are trying to
but we
surpass
want it
it.
to be like a surprise, because there's so many ways to go with this song on stage,
Yeah,
and with this voice on this incredible voice on stage. So we want to to take the best out of it, of
yeah.
course, obviously.
So I'm sure I have been loving just listening to all the songs competing at the festival this year. I mean, the playlist, I really can start it and just let it ride. So many interesting acts. I ask people this question for Eurovision, and I've been asking folks this year in the national selection, if you could maybe steal or remix a song that is competing at Festival da Canção and put sort of the Neon Soho remix or spin on it, whose song would you want to maybe remix or do a cover of?
Well, I have a thing for Claudia Pascoal's song. I do. Maria. Hi, Maria. I'm so afraid to say the name wrong. But it would be fun to do, like, to give it a twist and do like an electronic thing with it.
I love all contestants.
Yeah, but for
I
like a
love them all.
remix, it's what I think immediately. But yeah, all of them are incredible. What would you remix, or what would you give it a twist?
I don't know. I don't know. They're all good.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that because I talked to Mimi Cat earlier today and I asked her the same question and she was like Claudia's song. She was like, that's the one I want to do a spin. And she even said, she was like, I think maybe even a spin of Claudia's song and a little bit of Ivandra's song, Povo.
Yeah,
So maybe those sort of combined. Well, I would say, like, do you have, as creatives and whatnot, do you have any advice for folks out there who might be songwriters, singers, who maybe would want to compete in their country's national selection? Any advice you would give?
I would say keep your identity, and because if you work on something you know and you love, uh, you go with your truth. So it's much
Yeah.
easier, I suppose, and you can't fail on that. I think.
Yeah.
That's my advice.
No, I totally agree. Be yourself. it's a cliche, but
Yeah.
it's the because it's very easy to adapt and to adjust things just to be easier to be
To please.
to please exactly.
Maybe we should go that direction because people will love it more. But you cannot. Not everybody's going to like your music, so you have to be.
Mhm.
You have to be prepared for that. So might as well present what you love, and I think that's the best advice.
No, and I think that that is, I think that that's a good advice to kind of close on. Thank you so much for speaking with me, and of course, best of luck. I'm loving the song. Folks can find it on streaming platforms, even though the soundtrack or the playlist for the festival is not available in the United States. I'm very bummed about that. But I have to watch it. But it's available everywhere else. Everywhere else. Canada, it's available in Latin America, it's available all over Europe. So thank you so much. Please stream the song for them. And yes, again, best of luck on the stage.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
It was
you.
really nice. Thank you so much.